I was helping this couple. I was helping her find a swimsuit, okay? Every time I was asking her what she liked and what color she liked, he would interject and be like, I like that one. That's the one that we're gonna get. No, that one. She needs that color. No, this is the color that I like you in. Yep, that's what we're getting. I'm sorry, is your junk gonna fit in an extra small bikini? I didn't fucking think so, bitch! Shut the fuck up, you toxic motherfucker!
Be polite to men who hit on you? Why is being polite to men so hard to do?
Well, they mostly just want to sleep with you and often try to creep on you, so calling them out is the proper thing to do. Now let's dive into this topic a little bit more. Have you ever been called a Men will treat you like a toy and then say boys will just be boys and then they'll do the same to the people you adore. We grow up internalizing toxic norms and when it turns to murder and violence, well, you shouldn't be surprised because our society desperately needs a large reform. Now, let me propose a question here to you. Why is defending the patriarchy a thing you do? If you look at the statistics, you will find it hard to miss that men are the reason most terrible things happen to you. There, I fixed it.
Guys, there are many reasons that men are choosing not to date in 2021. Okay, we got a very, very large group of men at this point who are saying, you know what, I'm done with this crap. Right? I'm not interested in having a relationship. I'm not interested in having kids. I'm not interested in getting married. And a lot of that does come down to the government and the fact that they are willing to screw over men so that they don't have to pay these single mothers money. Guys, look, there are so many reasons right now for men to not date is just absolutely ridiculous. And one of those things that we're going to be covering on today's video, guys, is everybody just being totally more than willing to sit here and discuss quote-unquote toxic masculinity. As you can see, we got this woman here who's obviously quite upset about this little song. She's got the flag, which I don't know what the hell this one means in the background, boys. We're inventing flags like it's absolutely nothing these days. But guys, we're going to be jumping into this compilation here and seeing what some of these people have to say. And I'm pretty sure actually the first man who actually has a TikTok here makes some sense. So let's see what they have to say. So without further ado, boys, let's just jump right into the video.
Actually, no such thing as toxic masculinity. There are toxic behaviors that are conducted by both men and women that we should absolutely not condone and we should absolutely punish. But it's not something inherent about masculinity. And in fact, I make the argument that masculinity and femininity is inherently tonic or healing or positive. The unfortunate thing is you take a legitimate issue and you layer on the politics on top of that, and you call it toxic masculinity, and that in turn inherently has a implication or assumption that there's something inherent about masculinity that's toxic. And the message, I think, especially to like boys and young men, there's something wrong with you. But to sort of imply that it's intrinsically evil, that men are intrinsically bad, I think is incredibly harmful to society and to the future generations of men.
Yeah, because who the hell is going to want to take care of that society when all of the dudes just get shunned out of it? Okay, there are a lot of young men growing up at the moment, and a lot of them are coming to the conclusion, like, society never did anything for them, so why would they do anything for you? Okay, like, if you want to hammer into dudes' heads that they're toxic and they're terrible from birth, it's like, okay, why should they do anything for you? You're not giving them a reason, you're not giving them a purpose, you're shoving men out of the, out of the family structure, and these people are going to pay the consequences for it. And guys, I have no sympathy, okay? When these girls get to certain ages, I make this point all the time. It's like, I don't care at all when your attention dries up and you need a man and no guy wants to deal with you. You can cry on Twitter, okay, the absolute cesspool of the internet. You can cry on Twitter all you want about how men are supposed to accept you, but the fact of the matter is, all these rants about toxic masculinity, they're going to come around to bite you in the ass. So I personally don't really give a crap, to be honest with you. But let's continue with the video.
Future generations of men.
This is about toxic masculinity, and I kind of popped off in an essay I wrote. Let's see if we can fit this into a minute. Toxic masculinity is built upon the basis of misogyny, which is prejudice or disdain against women or female-bodied individuals, causing men to develop specific behaviors that impact their day-to-day well-being and transforms them into a threat against society. Persons who practice toxic masculinity are often homophobic, greedy, and demand domination. Much of the disdain that is aimed toward more feminine individuals is often because of the need to fulfill their masculine identities. For instance, many men who believe they are manly men look down upon those who are in touch with their femininity because society views gender as two opposites. Therefore, if you're feminine, you're immediately considered the opposite of a masculine individual and rejected in the minds of a misogynist. However, the social issue is not masculinity in and of itself, but the toxicity of misogynists who believe that masculinity is the rejection of femininity, creating toxic traits and actions that directly impact everyone, including said antagonists. Boom!
Boys, like, I've just, I've got the intergalactic telescope out right now. Like, you guys can't see it, but on my desk right here, gentlemen, I have the most powerful telescope. And you're probably thinking, Taylor, why the crap are you talking about a telescope right now? Well, guys, I have this telescope right here. And I've been searching the cosmos, right, for days, months even, for who the hell asked this woman any question, right? Like, who asked? You know what I mean? It's like these girls sit down, they write their essays, and it's like, you feel accomplished for writing that? You know what I would feel if I wrote something like that, guys? I would feel dirty. Like, I would feel intellectually dirty if I wrote something like that. And the reason for that is because this is not something that's based out of, something that has any form of utility, okay? It's just crapping on men and trying to justify why you do it. Guys, imagine the reverse, right? If we just set up classrooms and we just graded people on writing essays like this about women. It's like, oh, guys, that stuff would never be allowed to exist, right? But, this is 2021, guys. We're able to just write crap like this all over the internet, and nobody's going to say a damn thing. And truth be told, guys, it's quite late, and I personally couldn't give a crap reading all of that. But, just absolutely disgusting right there. Let's continue on with the video.
Boom!
Be polite to men who hit on you. Why is being polite to men so hard to do?
Okay, so we're gonna go through this, and I'm gonna mute it as we go through because there's parts that need to be muted anyway. But right off the bat, guys, of course, I've always said this, right? But the girls who pick up womanism and the girls who have so much of an issue with men, they only start to have these issues when men aren't paying them attention anymore. Now, I can't get on here and say anything negative about this woman's appearance, guys. It's just certainly a convenient fact to me. But you guys let me know, right? So they mostly want to sleep with you, is what she says here. They often try to creep on you, so calling them out is the proper thing to do. Now let's dive into this topic a little bit more. Yeah, because why not? We have nothing better to do, I guess. Have you ever been called these words? Girls want to pretend as though there are only derogatory words that exist for women. There are plenty of derogatory terms that exist for men and only extend to men, but, professional victim over here, right? Men will treat you like a toy and then say boys will just be boys. I have no sympathy for girls who go out here and choose men who get with them and then toss them to the side. Yeah, there are dudes who will just lie, and that's like kind of scumbag behavior, right? But a lot of these girls, like... They go out here, they choose dudes who are clearly not going to commit to them, or they want to buy into this little fairy tale. And the question is just, why is that guy who earns 6+ figures, who is 6 foot, who's handsome as hell, and he's got all of these choices with girls, why is he going to choose you? I don't care if he comes to you, you think that you're going to get a relationship, and then you don't get one. How about you use your brain for 2 seconds and realize that, he's probably not going to commit to you, right? We grow up internalizing toxic norms, clap, clap, and, doing these things, which I can't say. Blah, blah, blah. I find it weird, right, when these girls will bring up issues like, have you guys ever noticed that girls only bring up certain types of internet consumptions, shall we say? I can't really use the words, I'm kind of dancing around YouTube here, right? But certain kinds of content that's online, girls have an issue with it when they start to realize that men's attention are going elsewhere. Like, guys, there are literally people that I've seen, these girls who are like, oh, You know, make sure you purchase my OF account because it's homegrown and it's natural, and then they'll all like bash on other content creators, OF content creators, because dudes are watching them instead. Just an absolute cesspool.
Today, toxic masculinity? What the fuck? I had a 14-year-old boy message me saying that he wants to be a man, but he's concerned about toxic fucking masculinity. Since when did fucking being a man and masculine become toxic? We live in a world today where you're not supposed to talk shit about anybody, no matter what their race is, what their sexual orientation is, what color they fucking like, nothing. Except, apparently, being a fucking man. I consider myself a man, but I'm fucking toxic because I'm masculine?
Yeah, like, it's based. I'm gonna skip over this video just because, like, the amount of swearing. I'm gonna keep it PG over here, unfortunately. But he's got a great point. Okay, everything is off limits, right? Except for men, right? Everything is off limits. You can't make fun of X, Y, Z. You can't say anything about certain groups, guys. If you didn't know this, by the way, I'm just gonna give you guys some insight. So in the back of YouTube, right, you can kind of like rate what your video is. Right? And like you can select what different criteria and YouTube will determine, okay, we can run ads on this, we can't run ads on that or whatever. And there's literally a tab for, I forget what the tab is called, but basically it asks you, it's like, do you use any sort of derogatory language against, and I quote, protected groups? It's like, I'm sorry, why do we have protected groups and unprotected groups? I thought everybody was equal. Right, I thought that, you know, that's what we're pushing about, how, you know, you should be polite to everyone. But no, they literally have it written, guys, like in the back end of YouTube, they say protect, you know, are you talking trash, basically, about quote unquote protected groups? Like, men are not a protected group, I would assume, is what it seems to me, right? Because, you know, you can have this stuff plastered all over the internet talking crap about men, but you talk about anybody else in a derogatory way, oh my goodness, everybody's after you, right?
80% of suicides are guys.
Okay, this one's for dudes. And this is a perfect example why feminism is beneficial for men. A lot of you think feminism is hating men. It's not. It's about taking down patriarchy and its oppressive norms. Even though men are the ones who benefit from patriarchy the most, they're still victimized to an extent.
I wonder, like, in this guy's head, what kind of mathematical equation he's running to just like see how good he gets it in with women, right? It's like, a lot of these dudes, they make videos in the same way that girls make videos talking about men's issues, purely just to appear better for women. And the funny part is, right, women will look at videos like this and they'll like pat him on the back. They'll be like, oh yeah, thank you very much for making this video. I appreciate it. You're truly standing up for us. And it's like, oh, you want to kiss? Oh, no, sorry, I've got XYZ to do, right? It doesn't actually do anything, right? I just kind of think it's pretty sad, to be honest.
You can think of it as misogyny being a two-way street. Patriarchy tells men they shouldn't be vulnerable or show emotions. It uses misogyny to label those things as feminine things. So when men get vulnerable or emotional, they're criticized, made fun of, told to be a man, not to act like a woman. That's toxic as fuck for men. Because men end up bottling up their emotions. They have nowhere to seek help for, and they don't know how to deal with these emotions. Patriarchy oppresses all of us. Some more than others, yes, but all of us.
I've always said this, man, but if you go out here and you teach young men to be like gender fluid, right? And go out here and be emotional and do all these things and act feminine, do you know what happens to those men? They get shunned by any sort of healthy social circle. They get absolutely shunned because those things breed mental illness. They absolutely do. And why is that, right? If you're a dude and you go out here and you act in these ways, despite what society will tell you about how it's so accepting and, you know, loving and all of, oh yeah, men just need to be emotional, it actually repulses people. It biologically repulses people when men act emotional, when they go out here and act feminine. Okay, so if you encourage men to go out here and do these things, you're encouraging them to put themselves in environments that are going to treat them poorly. So I think that's absolutely disgusting, right? And if you set dudes down this path, particularly young men, the results of that are going to be pretty disastrous. But I guess we're just going down this freight train in society where, hey, everybody can be just gender fluid. And by the way, there's no psychological consequences to that at all, I guess, right?
So men needs to be a feminist also for their own sake.
This is what I mean when I say I hate men. So today at work, I was helping this couple. I was helping her find a swimsuit, okay? Every time I was asking her what she liked and what color she liked, he would interject and be like, I like that one. That's the one that we're gonna get. No, that one.
And so this is the classic example, guys. Let's just use their logic, if you can call it, back at them, right? Okay, so she's taken this one circumstance and she's applied it to all men. Very interesting, right? But no, of course, it's not appropriate to do it the other way around, of course, right? But again, this video is just perfectly allowed to stay on TikTok and everything like that. Plenty of women in the comments giving this girl a clap on the back. But here's the point that I get from this is like, okay, if you make a video like this, all I think to myself is I'm like, man, whoever's your boyfriend, that's going to suck. Like, that's absolutely going to suck, because can you imagine like having an argument with this person, trying to have a discussion? It's going to devolve into this at some point or another. And again, this is just one of the many reasons why dudes walk away from dating, is like, man, I just cannot be bothered dealing with this, right? And how can you blame men for saying, I don't want to deal with this, guys? Like, just listen to this tone right here and imagine like this is your girlfriend, or this conversation is going on in your house.
She needs that color. No, this is the color that I like you in. Yep, that's what we're getting. I'm sorry, is your junk gonna fit in an extra small bikini? I didn't fucking think so, bitch! Shut the fuck up, you toxic motherfucker!
Be polite to men who hit on you.
And this video repeats itself, so we're going to be skipping again onto the next one. So let's see what they have to say.
There, I fixed it.
So I've been reading about masculinity and men's studies, and I wanted to read this paragraph because I thought it was really interesting. Because of the unobtainability of the masculine ideal, it is argued there is a constant need for men to prove that they are achieving the goals of masculinity, and with it a permanent insecurity attached to manhood. Being able to display signs of hegemonic masculinity, for example strength, sexual prowess with women, the ability to consume beer, becomes vital to demonstrate that one is a real man. Masculinity is presented as a process which needs constantly reaffirming. One's status as a man is never secure but in perpetual need of validation by other men. As Kimmel notes, we men are under the constant careful scrutiny of other men. Other men watch us, rank us, grant our acceptance into the realm of manhood. Manhood is demonstrated for other men's approval. It is other men who evaluate the performance. As a result, it is suggested men often feel inadequate and powerless, even if they occupy positions of power within the public arena.
Do you guys ever watch, like, you see stuff like that where girls are reading, or like they're quote unquote studying masculinity? And I just find it disgusting, man. Like, I just find it absolutely disgusting. These are the same girls that try and turn around and be like an armchair psychologist, right? They're like, oh, you say this, or you have that opinion because your childhood was bad, or you had one bad experience, or whatever. Right, and these girls will constantly use examples like that because they've read a book like this and they think that they know everything about men, right? And to that I say, that's hilarious. Okay, it absolutely is. These are the same girls who, go out and guys, the funny part is, right, is like, for as educated as these women claim to be about masculinity, and they just like, they understand men and, oh, men are this way, men are that way. You look at these situations and you ask yourself the question, where's her man? Okay, where's her long-term relationship? And they'll be like, oh yeah, I've got my man here. And you ask how long they've been with, and they're like, oh, we've been together for 18 months. It's like, but you're 26 years old. Like, what number attempt at a relationship is this for you guys? And it's like these girls, they think that they're so academically, I forget the word, man, I'm quite tired. But it's just disgusting, right? It really is disgusting how they sit here, they read all this text on masculinity, and then they assume to know something about it. It's like, I don't think she should even have access to it. I don't think this book right here should even be written, let alone this girl reading it, man. I think it's quite disgusting. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think in the comments.
That's my emotions, because if I do, you'll unable to ask for help or express my emotions, because if I do, you'll call me weak. If I respect women, you'll call me a simp, and if I express sadness, you'll call me a sad boy. So what I have to do for the rest of my life is be emotionally unavailable, bottle up my emotions until I kill myself. That's pretty much it. Also, we're homophobic and we're gonna gaslight you if you get sexually abused and brainwash you into chasing money for all your life.
And will look you dead in the face and tell you these are two different colors.
Every time I see a man post this, I get slightly more tempted to create a line of football jerseys where all the colors are just slightly off from the official ones. I just want to know what would happen.
Actually,
And again, like, I don't understand how that's funny, to be honest with you. But on this guy's point right here, guys, I've always made the case that if you want to go out there and you want to be an emotional dude, right, and you want to, like, show all these people everything and, you know, just be chitty-chatty, and it's like, guys, there are consequences to that no matter what, you know? It's like, the point is not to be like a stone cold, just emotionless dude. Just understand that women do not, you know, respond to emotion as well as they say that they do. Right, you can show your emotions, guys. You can be sad, you can be happy, you can be angry. These are all normal things. But let me tell you something. These girls who advocate for men to be emotionally open to them, that's just not the case at all. Like, they don't respond to those things. In fact, most people are repulsed by it. That's not to say that dudes don't have emotions or shouldn't have them or anything like that. It's just that, you know, if you go out here and you show all these outbursts and stuff like that, you know, people are not going to stick around you, and there are consequences either way to that. But society wants to kind of pretend like these things don't exist and you guys should just go around and, you know, just become professional victims yourself and everything is going to work out. When in actual fact, guys, you're going to run a lot of people away if you listen to some of this bullcrap advice that these womanists give. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, make sure you leave your thoughts and your comments in the description, guys. It's always interesting to see what you gentlemen have to say. But for now, I'm off to bed. So guys, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I will see you boys in the next episode. Peace.